Is the United States government in possession of non-human craft and non-human biologics? Aliens, y'all. So basically alien spaceships and aliens. That's what journalist Michael Shellenberger says from his sources, amongst many other people, right? So let's dive into this clip. Hi, I'm Patrick with Vetted. Hit that like button. That helps us out a lot. Leave a comment down below of what you think of this story I'm about to show you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's jump in, y'all. So here it is. On the Shawn Ryan show, okay, Michael Shellenberger, journalist. I've got another article we're going to go over that came out over the summer that you might recognize him from, and we'll go over after this. But let's watch this clip, and then let's just go from there. Here, I'll read this real quick. This is how I came across it. New interview with Michael Shellenberger. He's working on a new story that involves non-human retrieved craft and biologics. Also reiterates that the United States government has between 12 to 30 or so craft of non-human origin in their possession. And this bit, for UFO-related stories, he has 3 or more sources for info vetting. So think about that. Vetted. Thanks for the shout out. All right, let's watch this clip.
I hope to continue to talk to both sides because it seems like we all have a greater interest in knowing what the government knows rather than having it kept secret from us.
When is you had mentioned you have a piece coming out about the non-human biologics and crash retrievals. When is that coming out?
Well, I'm doing a story about a particular case, which I don't want to say too much about, but I did do an earlier story with multiple witnesses, multiple sources, I should say. And because on the UFO story, like usually as a journalist, you want to have at least 2 sources for every fact. On UFOs, our standard is 3 or more because it's so out there. But no, we had multiple sources, and they're well placed in a position to know that says that the U.S. government has really between 12 and 30 or so retrieved craft of non-humans. I did not report non-human biologics, but David Grush in his congressional testimony did report that. I have also heard that. I have not reported it. I was happy to let someone else say that, but yes, that is coming up in the reports. I wrote about a crash in Brazil that occurred in the 90s. It's a pretty well-studied crash where there was multiple witnesses that say they saw a non-human entity, including, alive and dead. And so that is not easy to dismiss, particularly the character of the witnesses and the fact they haven't changed their story and they didn't say what they said for money. In fact, they claim to have turned down money to change their story. So there's just a lot more there than I think most people realize. And it's good for that to be a source of fascination because it's super interesting and important. If humans are indeed, we know that we don't revolve around the sun, and we know the earth is not flat, and it may turn out that we're not alone in the universe. And if that's the case, then it'd be really fun to find out while we're all still alive.
While we're all still alive. So what do y'all think of that? I'm about to show y'all an article from Michael Shellenberger that y'all might remember from the summer, but I just want to kind of go over that clip a little bit, right? Quite fascinating. I mean, how many times do we need to hear that the U.S. has recovered craft, right? He's using multiple sources to confirm everything. And, I mean, just how much smoke do we need to see? I think at this point, it's not a question of if the U.S. government has recovered craft. It's how many and from where, right? That's the real question. And biologics, how many? I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of how many bodies do we have. So I cannot wait for that story, y'all. Y'all should be looking forward to that. What I like about Michael Shellenberger, too, is he's not all UFO, right? He does stories, the majority of on other things, politics, climate change, other things, and then he will dive into this subject, and I like that. He writes great articles. I definitely enjoy reading them. I cannot wait to read this next one about about non-human biologics, right? What's that about? But let's go to this article that he had before, and leave me a comment down below. What do you think of different stuff that he said in that clip, right? Just people that been telling the same story, right? Why would they lie? In a position of power, could lose everything. It doesn't make sense, right? So this is a story that he wrote. He's got it on Public, okay, in a Substack. U.S. has 12 or more alien spacecraft, say military and intelligence contractors. All right. So this was, to me, a huge story. Let me go to the shocking part of this, because they describe some of the craft, the alien craft. Okay, here we go. I know of at least 12 to 15 craft, said one person, who said they shared. You know what? Hang on. Let me move this. There we go. All right. I know of at least 12 to 15 craft, said one person, who said they shared the information with Arrow in Congress. Every 5 years, we get one or two recovered for one reason or another, from either a landing or that we catch, or they just crash. So how do you catch a UFO? That's confusing. I've read this tons of times, and I'm just now catching that. So it lands, crash, or they catch it by shooting it somehow, downing it? Is that what they mean? Catching it, that's such an odd term to use. We catch the UFO. A different contractor said there were at least 4 morphologies, different structures. 6 were in good shape, 6 were not in good shape. There were cases where the craft landed and the occupants left the craft unoccupied. Again, this article is by Michael Shellenberger from this past summer. All right, so there were cases where the craft landed and the occupants left the craft unoccupied. There have been high-level people, including generals, who have placed their hand on the craft, and I would have no reason to disbelieve them. One source described having seen 3 kinds of craft, including one shaped like a triangle and another that looked like a chopped-up helicopter, with the front bubble of a Huey helicopter, with the plastic windows, or more like a deep-sea submarine, with a thick piece of glass bubble-shaped, and where the tail rudder should have been, it was a black egg-shaped pancake. And instead of landing gear, it had upside-down ram's horns that went from the top to the bottom and rested on the ends of the horns. Just saying. That is just crazy. Right? Crazy, y'all. So, what do y'all think? I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to Michael Shellenberger's article about non-human biologics. All these sources, are these the same sources that, Ross Coulthart uses and other people use? That's what I would be curious to know, and there's probably no way to ever find out because the journalist isn't going to reveal his sources. But yes, I cannot wait for this article, right? I think 2024 will have a lot of revelations, y'all. I think just a lot of people are going to just come out, because now they know the UAP, right, legislation got gutted, and I just think a lot of people are just going to start coming out, and we need articles like this from this guy, right, from journalists like him, credible journalists who are going to write about this, right, and they're verifying to us that they're getting multiple sources for every fact, right? So, yeah, I cannot wait to read this article that he's going to release, because we need to know, y'all, right? We need to know. But I think it is interesting that he was cautious about mentioning non-human biologics, right? So he has said that writing this article that I just showed y'all, people told him about non-human biologics as well. Same sources that he's talked to about these craft, they also told him about non-human biologics, but he didn't feel it was, throw it all into one article, right? I guess he wanted more information. I think if you can accept that a craft is of non-human origin, it's not that far-fetched to then accept a non-human biologic that brought that non-human craft, right? Like, they kind of go hand in hand. Unless you think it's some robotic AI that was just sent from afar and there's nothing connected to it, which I guess is possible, right? Like we send probes out, right? But I'm just saying, I cannot wait to find out, y'all. Like, I can't wait to read that article because we'll get more details. Grush hasn't been able to expand upon it, right? He's just been able to say we have it. But that's it. How many? Where are they at? When did we get them? Are they still alive? Have they communicated? Right? Have they told us things? Are they friendly? Not friendly? Are they alone? Right? Do they know about the other species? Are they unaware as well? What do they know about us? How much do they know about us? Do they just find out about us? What level, are they above us? Like how much advanced? Right? I have a lot of questions, y'all. I'm sure like y'all do, about these biologics. What do they look like? How far have they been evolved? Do they believe in religion? Do they have art, entertainment? Do they have their own Starbucks? Like, how did life evolve for them? Yeah, I cannot wait. So that's what I'm going to be looking forward to, y'all, this next coming year is really just journalism. That's what we're going to need. Stories, sources, people coming out, right? Public disclosure. I hope potentially some of the people will name themselves talking about the biologics, but I understand that they wouldn't. I wonder if they're the same. I mean, they are the same sources that are telling him about the craft. But I hope he talks to people that have actually touched these biologics, worked on them, doctors or something. That's what would be interesting. So anyway, y'all tell me in the comments what you think. Cannot wait to read this. Read the comments. So as always, I'm Patrick with Vetted. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Thank y'all very much. Hit that subscribe button too. We're trying to hit 3,000 by the end of the month, y'all. So thank y'all again for all the continued support. Really appreciate it. I'm Patrick with Vetted. Remember, every day's a gift. We'll see y'all in the next video. Every day, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.